Okay, the update on my 1954 Ford F100 project. Spent the winter rebuilding the transmission, or rebuilding the engine, and I took the transmission into a shop for a bench build. Of course, it took me a couple of months to get it all back together again, so when I got it fired up, backed out of the driveway, drove it around town a little bit, and it would slip in first once, and then about around town and back a couple of times, and it had no reverse. So I took it into the transmission shop, and they said, well, let's look at it, and went back and forth. They ended up having to rebuild it because the reverse and low gear clutches were burned up. And they said it was because I had the TV cable adjusted wrong, or it was run low on fluid. I don't think either of those is the case. So I got the transmission back from them. I have installed it. I put a cord in the converter. I got 4 quarts in the pan. I'm going to fire it up and chug-a-lug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more quarts. Valvoline, it's like $80 worth of oil here. Valvoline, Dextron. Okay, back up. It's Ford F100 with a Chevy 350 and a TH and a 700 R4 transmission behind it. So Dextron 6 full synthetic oil. A couple ways to do this, I guess, but one commonly used practice way is start it up. It's got at least 5, maybe 6 quarts in it. I did not replace the torque converter, so I think it probably has 2. I couldn't get more than 1 into it, so I think it's got at least 2 in it. So it's got 6 in it, and I'm going to fire it up in park and chug-a-lug at least 5 more quarts. That will make 11 that are in it, and then I'll let it run. I have a pressure gauge here, 300-pound pressure gauge. Probably ought to tape that there so it stays. Not that you can read it. Would work best. Anyway, well, that's showing okay, I guess. So, just doing a video because this is first run. I just don't know if they got something wrong in that valve body or not. They're supposed to check them out. They seem to really know what they were doing. Blah, blah, blah. As you can see, the 300. Okay. Boy, it hasn't run in over a month now, messing around with this, so fire up, see what happens here. Okay, I gotta explain. The kick down cable on these, the adjustment procedure is for wide open throttle. So is it right for at idle or just off idle? This transmission with a different engine was working fine in this truck. Maybe I shouldn't have had it rebuilt at all. I don't know. Anyway, it should be more than stout for what I'm going to do now that it's been rebuilt. I put a different carburetor on this one. It's a Holley Demon Street Demon carburetor. It comes with a bracket for the 700 R4. I have the kickdown cable in it and adjusted per specs. I did before. I took the transmission out and had it rebuilt the first time, and I had that TV cable correct after the first rebuild, and there's no way that it's incorrectly adjusted TV cable. Now, who's to say Holly has the wrong bracket and it's not adjusted for at idle? I never ran this thing at like wide open throttle, so I don't think that's what burned up the transmission. That's why I got the pressure gauge on it. So I'm going to check it in park at TV cable at normal position and wide open throttle, and I should have good pressure at idle with that TV cable at wide open throttle position. But I'm not going to do any of that until I got all the oil in it and I'm sure that the oil is up to proper level, proper operating level. Got 100 psi. TV cable. It's about a 1/4 inch out. The pressure just starts to build when I pull it out to idle position. That's all the way full out at 200. Bouncing around 200, which I think spec is 185. So, just under 100 with no TV cable. position 110. Raise the RPM a little bit. Let's see what it does. Full TV cable. Doesn't go up at all with RPM. So I'll check fluid level now, but looks like pressure's good. Double check fluid level. Then I'll check it in, do another video, I'll check it in reverse, see what the pressure does in reverse. So I don't know, everything checks out right now, but I don't think it's any different than what I did first go around.